Hey guys, we're here with Alex, who went top 16 at YCS Vancouver with Dragon Link. How are you liking the deck for this format?
I've been playing this since Shunping Zhu topped that UDS or won that UDS back in the beginning of 2020. No, that was 2020. That's 3. So this format, I think it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's in the best 3, but it's definitely like the 4th. Like with those 3 being like Pearly, Cash, and Unchained. It's just unfortunate that it's like iffy matchups in all of those.
Okay, well, before we get to the profile, I know you have a YouTube channel of your own. Want to shout that out?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me at WizardWentzellYGO. So we'll have the link in the description, I'm sure, because everyone misses second L my last name. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's get right to the list then.
Sure, absolutely. So I'll start it sorted by engine. So we have the rockets. So it's Double Tracer, Recharger, Caliber, and Abstrator. I still play Caliber. I know some people have gone to like the double recharger, but we cope. We can just shuffle back and regain if we need it. And Caliber came up at least one time where like they were booking the Tracer and I still needed the tuner, so I was able to Tracer target itself and get it out. So it's also I didn't get to use the effects of Caliber at all, but it's pretty good if like they negate a Bestial and then you tribute it to special Magnum from hand, you still get Magnum effect. So overall, I'd stick with those. And then into like the Chaos Dragons, we have 3 Safer, white and black, and then Levianeer. Some people have been cutting Safer to 2, but we're playing 47, so I wanted to have like 6 normal summons, and it's pretty good. It's hard. I think less people are on Droll now than they were at the beginning of the format, especially now that we have more concrete data from the YCSs. So I thought Safer to 3 would be fine. There was one game where I had Safer, and then I had the Black Dragon hand already, so I had like normal Safer, sent it for cost for itself, I got Ash, and then just summoned this, and I'm sure my opponent was not happy about that one, but still, 3 Safer. There's another combo here with Bestial Sarnier that's really good. You basically send Sarnier, add Magnuma, Sarnier, dump the Lubellion, link it off, and then banish the Safer to get the Lubellion back, and then you have access to like all your Bestials off 2 cards. So, then we got the Red Eyes package, so 3 Black Metal, and then the 1 Darkness Metal. I was testing, and I know I put up a combo video for the Black Meteor Dragon. It didn't feel good. Like, I felt like I was drawing Driver way too much. It's like every time you play Driver, you draw it. You never draw the Gamma, even though they're both at 1. So, I like the package. Especially into Droll, this was the better normal summon, because you could go Link 1 into Striker, you go this Chain 1, Striker Chain 2, and then you add the Red MD and the Boot Hunter. Even if they Droll you, you're still on Steel's Pass, which surprisingly is better than people give it credit for. Then, next, into the Bestials. So we're playing 6, so triple Magnamut, 1 Duraswarm, double Sarnier, and then we have the triple Lubellions. So, Magnamut's a no-brainer at 3. Sarnier at 2 was because I mentioned the Safer combo. As well, it's really nice to be able to set up Beast and Regain, so having access to this can be really nice. The other cool play you can do with Sarnier is when you have Dragon Ravine and you're trying to pitch for Absrouter, if you have this in your hand or you have Absrouter in your hand, you discard the one to send the other, and then you can go Chainlink 1 Absrouter, Chainlink 2 Sarnier to dump, and then you're guaranteeing your Rocket Search. 3 Lubellion, I sided down to 2 when I was going second. Other than that, like, card's really good. I'm expecting this to go to 1 next list. And I promise I'll have the Prismatic Secrets. I'm close. I have 1 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. So I didn't have a chance because the tins came out right before I hopped on the plane, but we'll make it look good. And then the last monsters I played, 3 Ash in the main. Ash is really good this format. I wouldn't say it's the best hand trap, but it hits the most. Like, it's pretty high impact, but I think every deck this format, there's something you can Ash. Unlike something like Droll, which has limited application against Unchained, which had a really good showing at the YCS last weekend. So to respect that deck, we started siding Droll instead of main. The only thing I probably changed for monsters is to main deck Nibiru as well. Nibiru checks so much in the format, it's pretty much the only deck it feels bad against is Pearly. So then into the spell traps. So we're playing 3 Quick Launch, 3 Chaos Space. So pretty standard, and then we're playing 1 of each of the field spell. I drew these way too many times, but funny enough, drawing Ravine doesn't feel that bad. People always say, oh, it sucks, it's brick, but like, I've gone from unplayable to playable just because I had this card in my hand. So don't discount the Ravine. Not enough to play 2, of course, but really good. And then these are self-explanatory. You still try to play around Droll with Chaos Space, and then Ash on Chaos Space usually feels bad, but if you have the way to set up to still get the draw 1, then still pretty good card. And then into non-engine, we have 3 Talents and 3 Book of Moon. Talents is insane. Oh, as well as the one called by the Grave. So Talents won me multiple games just by resolving it. Like I was playing against Rickus on Avalon in round 6. That's where I did that safer send to, and when I already had the Black Metal or Black Dragon Clap Serpent. And then after I resolved that, Talents went to look at hand and he just scooped because he didn't want me to see what he was playing in game 1. So I main deck 3 Talents. It's your out to a lot of things. It either helps you go from unplayable to playable, which it did this weekend. I don't think there was a time where I had Talents in hand that I felt that it was awful. Especially in 47 with 3, you're most likely not drawing 2. And then for the last couple cards to round it out, we're playing the Regained and Beast, as well as 3 Imperm. I think Beast is really needed. There's matchups where you're going to feel so bad for not having this card. I won a game 2 against MathMech because I forgot to side this out going second, and it actually came up, especially when things start getting flipped by Book of Moon or Book of Eclipse. If you still have a Bestial up, you contribute your set cards because they're dragons, and it confirms that, and pop 1, and then like trigger things like Black Metal or your Baby Chaos Dragons. Imperm I'm iffy on. It felt fine. You need it for the Kashtira, but I think that's what, if you're going to play 3 Nib, instead you replace the Imperms with Nib. Other than that, Regain, insane card. I wish it got a higher rarity in the tins, but that's what it is. Next time. If they don't hit this. Extra deck, yeah.
Exactly.
So, extra deck's pretty standard. There's like 2 flex spots in Dragon Link. The 13 are pretty solid. 12 to 13. But we'll just go through it. So, we have Striker, Pisty, Romulus, Seals, Dark, and then my 2 flex spots were IP and Azalea. IP because I found too many times I would have like Seals and then like 1 to 2 monsters just left on my board, and it felt really awkward. So I'm like, if I make IP, it helps me put something in like the corner of my board. It could come up, especially if you've gone through Magnemite. You go like Druis Worm, and then you use IP to link with the Druis Worm, so you get the send. And that's where Azalea came in. Instead of Nightmare Unicorn, because I figured whenever you're going into Unicorn, like the discard hurts, right? So we play the Azalea because like IP plus Druis Worm is like a 2 for 2, and if this goes to grave, like you weren't counting on it staying on the field anyway. Like when you quick effect for IP. The other thing that this helped, it helped me in like a very like simplified game state against Labyrinth in my round 8. They had Lady in 1 set, and then I had Seals. I summoned 2 rockets, and I was locked to Darks. So I linked the 2 rockets off for Azalea, target the set. I forced out, it was Ice Dragon's Prison, and then I had Magnemite in hand, so I was able to chain interrupt the ladies. So it left them on like top deck when I had like Seals plus Magma Surge. So I really like these cards, and I would recommend it. Next we have Triple Burst, Access Code, Borland. This is why I don't need to play Unicorn, because Triple Burst is a Link 3. But you use it for the Pisty lines. But speaking of Pisty, one thing that came up, especially in my early rounds, was if my opponent had a card that pointed into my main monster zone, like if they had something like Sunlight Wolf, or if it was the Mirror, they had Borland. Take advantage of that with Pisty and your Link 2s that go diagonal, and then you're 1 less monster to resolve Pisty. Because you can point to the zone that they point to, or you can put your Pisty in their zone and point to your like Seal's arrow. Last for the Synchros, we're playing Borload Savage, Scarlight for time. I only went to time once, and I was already up on life, so it wasn't that bad. But I was playing against Pearly round 10, and I wanted to, they were at 1,000 life. I was able to Scarlight. It was a little greedy. I Scarlighted to burn for 500 because I had Lubellion on the field, and so they couldn't use my friend. I ended up losing that game, so maybe it wasn't the best call, but I thought it worked out better. And then for the 10s, we have Dispatter, Baron, and Chaos Angel. I don't think I made Baron this whole weekend. Maybe once. Like, Dispatter is insane, especially when you start playing against decks that banish their own cards for Engine, because it's hard getting Dispatter to have a negate when you're playing against something that's not light or dark. However, like things like Salamangreat, where they banish Balings, or other cards, decks like that, you suddenly have a negate up. Plus the extension and being 3,500 attack, like, I OTK'd with this thing. So, overall, that's the extra deck. I don't think I'd really change anything with it until Age of Overlord, when SP Little Knight comes out. then Azalea's getting the boot. All right, into the extra deck.
Side deck?
Or side deck, sorry. So we got triple Nibiru, triple Droll, Pankratops.
Okay.
Pankratops is really good. I wanted to play spell trap removal that didn't lose to any spell or to Eradicator. So that's where that's coming in. Droll is for Pearly and some other decks that you can hit it, and then Nibs for almost everything except Pearly in the format. Like Unchained, you hit them with this the right time and they're not ending up very much. And then into the spell traps, we're playing 3 Eclipse. I probably should have mained these and sided the book, but it was good. Books are really good this format. Having 6 copies is almost essential because that's standby phase book to stop the Pearly Heap or setting a Rise Heart. Like, because the deck loses so hard to a Rise Heart, you need your books. And then we played 1 Thrust, and then the Thrust targets being Feather Duster and Daruma Cannon, and then double evenly matched. So this plays to the same thing I mentioned for the spell trap removal, not losing to Eradicator or anti-spell, because they're not going to Eradicator and call Trap against Dragon Link. And then the Feather Duster just gets a good card. And then the thought for 1 Thrust is that this is copy 7 and 8 of your books, if you're going first.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for the deck profile, and congrats on your top finish. Any last shout-outs?
Shout-outs to the rest of the players I play with in Kingston. So that's Sam, that's Mason, that's RJ, and that's Kevin. So hopefully, I told you guys I'd come back with the mat in the group chat, so now you'll get to see it when I come in on Tuesday.
Awesome. And again, definitely go check out his YouTube channel. I'll definitely link that down below. Thank you.
All right.